And welcome back to my channel. This is Wishblend reporting in. This is part 13 of the fan-based project Evolution and EDRPG Addition. Enjoy. Okay, Thargoids, let's see. We have the Thargoid Scout Swarm, which is made up of pretty much all the scouts. So that's the Berserker, Regenerator, Inciter and Marauder. So the Berserker buffs damage to things, the Regenerator heals ships, and Inciter buffs defense, and Marauder gives a faster reload on its weapons, all working together. So the Marauder Scout, basically we've got the different speed, defense, dogfight, etc. Its main gun will fire 3 times in 1 round. It then has to recharge the following 2 rounds before it can attack again. 50% of this weapon's damage passes through the shield, which is round down to 5, and it deals direct damage to the hull. The damage cannot damage modules. The cosmic missiles, basically you get a 10% chance per round to fire them with a plus 18 to hit. They bypass the shields and inflict a corrosive damage, dealing 30 damage on impact and 10 damage per turn until it's cleaned off with a decapitation limpet, but they can be intercepted by point defense mounts. The Marauder buffs, as long as the Marauder is alive, all scouts will receive a reduced weapon cooldown. Weapons will require 1 turn recharge instead of 2. So it uses balanced combat style and focus on ships that are being attacked by the Berserker scouts. So nice simple one. The Berserker Scout basically fires 3 times a round, so that's still the same. The missile is still the same. So the buff for the Berserker is, as long as it's alive, all scouts receive a plus damage per attack to the chance to fire the cosmic missile. So basically every attack all of the scouts in the group do gets a 10% damage bonus per attack. It also increases the chance to fire the cosmic missile to 30%. It's the most aggressive of the scouts. It will always joust and attempt to lock onto a ship for a dogfight. The Regenerator Scout basically does what the others do, but it also regenerates 30% of the hull at the beginning of the turn. It's careful, tries to avoid combat at all costs. If engaged, it will attempt to disengage. It will only attack when it's the last scout alive. It basically generates healing. It's a biological machine, so it can do that. Inciter Scout. Again, the main gun and missiles are basically the same. But the buff is, as long as it's alive, all other scouts receive a +2 to defense and dogfighting. So you're going to have a strategic planning to how to take these down. The Inciter Scout fights defensively on focus ships that attack the Regenerator. If the Regenerator is safe, it will attack with a strafe action. At close, it will use a broadside action. So, all deadly. So, Thargoid Interceptors. They're huge organic ships often described as a flower shape. There are currently 4 known variants of Cyclops, Basilisk, Medusa and Hydra. Rumours speak of even more variants and even motherships, but as of now, none have been sighted. Now, we don't know if the Thargoids are motherships or equivalent. We just do not know at this time. Well, at the time of this recording anyway. The only Thargoid in the EDRPG core book stroke supplements is in the Exploration supplement, which is a Cyclops. Those stats were basically generated and that with that before the Thargoids actually were introduced into the actual main game, so the stats are out. So we've modified them, bring it all into a line. So how does an interceptor fight work? Well, phase 0 start is the encounter. On encountering an interceptor, they're going to attempt to shut you down all nearby ships using a shutdown field. It can be blocked using a shutdown field neutralizer. Then once that's done, it goes into combat. At the beginning of combat, the Interceptor will launch a number of Thargoids. They're basically listed in a swarm size block. If you get up close, the Interceptor will use a number of cannons to attack, with each Interceptor having a number of hearts that need to be destroyed. These hearts are closed at the beginning. They're only open to regenerate damage, so to reinforce that, you need to deal around 20% of the Interceptor's damage. This required damage is listed as damage threshold, so in the case of the Cyclops, you need to deal 160 or more damage. Phase 2 Regeneration. A single heart will then open and regenerate all damage dealt to the Interceptor. This makes the heart vulnerable to taking damage. It stays open until it is destroyed. To destroy it, you need to target like a module and deal damage listed as heart hole. Phase 3 is the special weapon. After each heart destruction, the Interceptor will deploy a strong shield and launch a weapon. So after the first heart, it will attack with a powerful lightning strike. After the second to last heart, the shutdown field will be used again. After each other heart, it will launch a caustic missile. It will also release a new Thargon swarm. So that brings us into phase 4, finishing the job. When the last heart is destroyed, you can finally take on the Interceptor itself and kill it by reducing its hold to 0. So that is the basic battle plan. Now, different Interceptors will have different number of hearts, which means you need to adjust what you need to do. It's a slog, but I'm sure you can do it. So, weapons of the Interceptor. You have the Thargoid cannon. They have several cannons that fire in bursts and can deal a lot of damage to an unprepared ship. They can fire this weapon indefinitely, however, they will have to reload every few volleys. Due to range limitations, this weapon will only fire when the ship is in the up-close area. An Interceptor will never attempt to use it as its main weapon and will rely on its swarm instead. It basically has a plus 14 to hit and does 40 damage. 50% of this weapon's damage passes through the shield, round down the fire and deals direct damage to the hull. This damage cannot damage modules. Thargoid Lightning. After its first heart is destroyed, the Thargoid fires a massive lightning bolt. This bolt causes several effects. It deals massive damage to shields, as noted in the variants. It causes module malfunctions, so if it hits you, it disables a random module, so then you have to roll a 1d10. If it's a 1 to 5, no other module gets disabled, so that's, you get hit by a lightning bolt, it disables a random module, then you re-roll a d10 again to see if any other modules get disabled. If you get 1 to 5, no other modules will hit. If you get 6 to 10, a second module is disabled, and then you have to see it jump to another module by rolling a d10 again. It also cancels any active shield boosters. The caustic missile is a plus 18 to hit, 30 damage on impact and 10 damage per turn until cleansed with a decontamination limpet. It also bypasses the shields, but it may be intercepted by the point defense mounts. It's fired after breaking the hearts as described in the phase description, which is this bit. Just get another quick swig of drink. I think we're doing this for about 4 hours. Anyway, Thargon Swarm. The Thargons use swarms of tiny but deadly fighters called Thargon to support themselves in time of difficulty. Whenever a Thargon Cyclops exerts a heart, it will deploy a Thargon Swarm. Roll for initiative to determine when the swarm acts. The swarm is treated as a single opponent, except that the maximum amount of damage you can inflict on a swarm in a single hit is 1, enough to destroy a single Thargon fighter. Burst weapons inflict an additional point of damage with every burst level they inflict. So defense is 20, dogfighting 22, pursuit 17, initiative is 6. It's 1 per Thargon. Now, if you've got like a swarm of 32 Thargons, you need to hit them 32 times or do 32 points of damage to take them out. So the Thargon ballistics, it's a plus 14 to hit. Each Thargon deals 5 damage, a minimum of 8 Thargons. The attack, it just ignores the shields, it just goes right through it as if there's nothing there. Kamikaze. If less than 8 Thargons are alive, they will attempt a kamikaze attack. This works as a ram attack, dealing 25 damage per Thargon. This destroys the Thargons. They attempt this as long as there are Thargons left alive. So ram attack. So for the GMs, you choose an opponent and roll a 1d10 and add your defense score. The opponent is the same but can use pursuit if they wish. If the attacker wins, damage is inflicted. In this special case, the Thargons inflict 25 damage and destroy itself. If the attacker loses, the attack misses and the Thargons can attempt again next turn. Roll for each Thargon individually, not as a group. So yeah, not fun to go up against them, but some people like that challenge. So that brings us on to the actual Interceptor variants. So you've got the Cyclops variant. Then you have, as you see, it's been modified down to hull, the threshold, damage threshold, number of hearts, and the heart health. So in this case, you'd have to basically get the 800 hull down 5 times, with 4 of them killing the heart afterwards before it regenerates back up and gets down again. The Basilisk variant has 5 hearts and 1800 hull. The Medusa variant has a lot. It comes with a 60 million credit reward if you manage it. The Hydra variant is only 40 million reward, but has 8 hearts. So yeah, that is the aggressive one, if I remember right. Either way, I hope you're enjoying them. Moving on, if you have Thargoids, well, you have to have Guardians. So the Guardians, basically a bit of background lore here between the Guardian Thargoid war. And you got the Guardian ship technology, hull and shield tech, and weapon development. Then we come on to the Guardian or Sentinels. Now, if players come along to a Guardian ruin and it's active, these will most likely be buried on the actual base somewhere, and they'll have to take them out. Now, they basically attack with their plasma repeater and Guardian missiles. Now, the Guardian missiles can be taken out with normal point defense weapons if your ship is parked close enough to intercept them. But they are hover vehicles, so they pretty much can go anywhere. You've got the normal stats here. Then you've got going on to the hybrid technology. We've basically put the Guardian hybrid fighters in this section because they're Guardian tech. That's the only reason. So you've got the XG6 Trident, the XG7 Javelin, and XG8 Lance. The 3 hydrogen hybrid fighters. That also brings us into the Guardian hybrid weapons and modules. So where we've got like a star on some of these here, basically it's a tilted weapon and it requires a gunner to use. They can't fire on their own. So you need at least 2 people. Guardian Ghost Cannon, basically comparable Dragon effect, but instead of using rails to project it, he uses magnetic force for fire particles. Guardian Shard Cannon is like a frag cannon. The Guardian Plasma Charger is basically just energy plasma accelerator. So then we go on to Guardian modules, like hull reinforcement packages, shield reinforcement packages. If you're using the real shield values, the shield reinforcement packages, I see, where you've got like a star here, on these 215s, that's like if you're using real shield values. Yeah, just here. Shield reinforcement packages are unaffected by shield boosters. They are additional additive boost to the shield after calculation. That means they are working like hull reinforcement and module reinforcement with the hardened engineering by adding a flat additive bonus on top. So yeah, these here then are the actual real shield values from the Lazarus shield upgrades. So then we have the Guardian modules. So as I say, you've got the module reinforcement packages and the frame shift drive booster. Gives you an extra jump range type thing. Now, how is it going to work with the new aggressive Thargoids who can disable this Guardian tech? We don't know at this time. It's literally too early. At this time, we do not have the hostile Thargoids in the project, where it disables Guardian tech, because literally it's an unknown. That might get added later, it might not. We just don't know at this time. So going into personal Guardian weapons. So this is like experimental weapons that we're looking at bringing in, like flamethrowers, chain guns and so on. So you've got pulse pistol, ignores 1d10 armor, disruptor pistol, stuns, strike disables on 8, 9 or 10, but can fire through 1 meter of walls. Crystal spiker, basically heavy kinetic pistol, deals 1d10 explosive damage, targets 4 meters away around the impact. We've got compact pulse rifles, disintegrator beamer, micro missile rifle, can target up to 5 targets for a minimum of 1d10 each, make attack rolls against each target. Ghost rifle, multi-munition, completely ignores cover with a +2 scope. Plasma annihilator, create a deadly area with a 6 meter radius for half a d10 turns. Everyone in all passing through that area takes a 5d10 absolute damage per turn. Nasty weapon. Hard light sword is a +1 critical hit range, destroys cover. If critical hit is confirmed with a 8, 9 or 10, it hits and damages a body zone. So yeah, some nasty weapons there, that's worth, but it's going to be fun to use them. And that's basically a list for him to do. Okay, so reloading the Guardian weapons, they use advanced nanotechnology. Reload them doesn't work like a normal human weapon by shoving a clip in. It works by using a solid block of alloy which is reformed inside the weapon. Thanks to the popularity of ruins for explorers, alloy is highly available in most systems and costs the same as regular ammo. Pulse weapons use electromagnetic launchers to accelerate tiny fragments at unbelievable speeds, allowing you to bypass most human armors with ease. So ignore armor, basically. With weapons with that effect, roll the mentioned dice on a hit, restore the sense subtracted from the enemy's armor, then you roll your damage as usual. Disruptive weapons utilize high technology or high energy technology, like a blast of deadly radiation, pass through most materials with ease. So most of the weapons are the same. Standard type stuff, but with their own tweak. The hard light sword uses the same matter rearranging technology that other Guardian technologies use. It can store the blade in liquid form inside the hilt, reforming it with the push of a button. Due to its nature, it emits a faint blue glow and is semi-transparent and makes it look like an energy field. Storing the weapon inside a regular scabbard is impossible due to the extreme sharpness. This also allows it to cut through armour with ease. I want one of those swords. Okay, so these adventures here will be for acquiring a fleet carrier. So literally, I'm just going to skip past these because literally it is a proper two-part adventure, and I don't want to spoil it for people who might want to have a go at the adventure to acquire their carrier. General mission generator. This is also in the core book, and I believe it's where you can basically generate missions. You've got different twists, also in the backup for certain supplements. So you basically have your simple mission, and then you have one twist and a second twist. It basically lets you play it. Like this one here, you've been hired to escort a Type 9 on a trader on a 6 systems. Twist 1, it could be the pilot of the Type 9 has the ship configured as a shield and it's leading you all into an ambush, or the pilot is dead, the pirate on board is simply playing a role, but it completely has no pilot Type 9 before, which leads to a crash into a nearby asteroid. On investigation, you discover the dead crew and roll initiative. Or you got the first twist is the Type 9 is transporting a secret device and asks for protection. On the scanner checkoff with 212, you detect the radiation leak and remember that a 100 megaton nuclear weapon was recently stolen. Or the second twist is you fail to detect several fighters attack the Type 9 with focus on it alone. If it survives, the weapon detonates inside the station. Look for you. There is no free landing pad for the rest of your team. Will you help or you escape? Or you detect it and the Type 9 escapes and you try to find it. That's basically the mission generation thing. Plenty of stuff, still work to do. This is a ship modification and point conversion system. The disclaimer warning is the conversion system can potentially break the balance of the game, so use it very carefully. So basically we've got build points here. So for each of these weapons you take off your ship, you get X amount of build points. You can convert your ship's potential into ship's weapon points, but use them to fix a larger weapon onto your ship. You can then downscale a weapon size for smaller weapon hard points as well. So for example, if you've got a ship with 2 large weapon mounts, you can recover those 2 large weapons and basically convert the large weapon port into one single huge weapon port because it uses the same amount of build points. So you could have a ship that doesn't normally have a huge weapon currently using a huge weapon. As I say, it may not work on the balance things, but the options here. The utility systems and the fixed components are locked. They are predetermined by the ship's hull and cannot be changed. Now your internal build points depends on the slots. For example, if you remove a single size 8 slot, you get 256 points. You can then buy another size 7 slot, which is 128 points, and 4 size 5 slots, which is 4 slots of 32 points apiece. Note, the work will be carried out in a unique outfitting bays aboard the fleet carrier scrap heap, so you have to go to the fleet carrier scrap heap to do that. And again, this conversion system could potentially break the balance of the game, so use it extremely carefully. So this section here, new ships are not from the lore. This is where the ship design mechanic is going to be coming in, but it's not been designed yet. It's still very work in progress. So I've just got a space for it, but that's it. These are not the place like the Panther Clipper or other ships like that. It'd be totally new ships. The Narrato, we've got 3 basic ones at the moment. So these are unreported errors in the core books and the supplements which are going to be added in here. So please, if you know of any, drop them in the comments down below with the tag errata 2022, and we'll pick them up and add them into the list here. So hopefully by the time it gets finished, project gets finished, we've got a nice big list of all the errors that are not already in the book. This is the ship index. I say literally all the ships in the game. Literally, it's in the core book, the supplements, or the project here. So if it says core, it's in the core book. If it's exploration, it's in the exploration supplement. Super Trader, it's in the Super Trader book. If it says evolution, it's in this project. As you can see, there's a lot of ships. This is basically the blank sheet. I do actually need to insert another line here to get the full amount, because I didn't have it on the sample. So if you get the gravity point plus 8 of the 9 of the signals, will basically go up to that. But yeah, that is the end of the evolution project at this time. Bear in mind, it's still a work in progress, as you saw, but I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a long recording session to get all this recorded, so it's most likely going to split over numerous 30-minute segments if I can get it right. So please drop your comments down below, any improvements, suggestions, please enter them in the chat. Let us know what you think. If you just think we're doing a great job, again, just drop it in the comments. We'd always appreciate all the nice thoughts and things. So with that, my friends, that brings us to the end of the Evolution and EDRPG Addition update number 1. You need to join us for any future updates. So yeah, it is ongoing, so as for how long it's going to be before it comes out, we just don't know. There's still a lot of work to be done on it, so it's going to be literally as soon as we can, but we're not rushing it. We're taking the time. You got the new Thargoid Star Guide issue coming in currently in the game. That might, as I say, fit into the story, as I said a bit earlier, but not sure. As for how much will it be when it comes out? Well, there's 2 ways you can get it. One will be a free PDF download from the Spider-Man Games website, and the others will be using the Spider-Man Games print-on-demand service, where you're able to pay for a print and postage version of the book, just like the core book. But it must be noted, Spider-Man Games or any of us who've actually created it, we are not getting any money for this. It's a free project. So that's the 2 options you'll have. At this time, it's not out, so please don't go rushing off to the Spider-Man Games website trying to find the Evolution, An EDRPG Addition project. It's not there. If you want a copy of it electronically of what we've got at the moment, I can send you a copy of the Google Docs we're using. All you need to do is just send me a message either in the chat below or join us in Discord, and I'll send you a private one. With that, I hope you've enjoyed our big update. I say it's been over 2.5, 3 years working on it, and it's probably be another year or so, maybe. It all depends on what parts it needs doing. So with that, I'm going to leave this update here. So please hit a like, drop any comments down below, and subscribe to the channel so you know when the next update goes out. can't say when it'll be. It might be yeah, 2 or 3 months. It might be longer. It literally depends on how much work has been done between now and then. So with that, I'll see you next time. Laters.